The Samaritan woman at the well is an outcast. She's been married 5 times before and is presently living with someone to whom she's not married. So her neighbors know her as a public sinner, and they consider her unkosher, unclean, someone to be avoided. That is why she is at the well at midday all by herself, because the other women of the village would have come in the earlier part of the day, in the morning, before the heat of the midday sun. And there they would have socialized with one another, maybe gossiped a little, probably about her, as they drew water from the well to be carried home. And while the people of her village shun this woman, not Jesus, he engages her in conversation. He treats her with a measure of respect and great kindness, even as he eventually gently challenges her by revealing to her that he knows her as well or even better than she knows herself. This encounter changes her. Indeed, oftentimes people generalize. They say, oh, God in the Old Testament is depicted as judgmental and severe. But you know, if we look, that's not the description we actually find in the pages of the Hebrew Scriptures. Rather, God is described by 2 adjectives in Hebrew, hesed and emet, which translate roughly as loving kindness and faithfulness. And as Jesus has come among us truly as God in our midst, as our reading referred, yes, he is the human face of God. And so that's exactly what we see, loving kindness and faithfulness in him, especially in his encounter with someone that those who were representing God in his day, the religious authorities, would have advised people to condemn her and avoid her. Yet because the woman is met with authentic love and gentle mercy, rather than judgment and rejection, Jesus is able to reach beneath her initial defensive posture and go right to her heart and touch it. In this way, he moves her to repentance and conversion. Truly, this is one of the most moving and most important accounts in all the Gospels, and it is instructive to us in 2 primary ways. First and foremost, it should assure us that no matter what we have done or how we may have sinned, we never need be afraid to lay bare our soul before Jesus, because he is ever ready to show us the very same loving kindness he showed that sinful Samaritan woman at the well. Indeed, we seek such healing with Jesus in the sacrament of reconciliation that he has left us for that purpose, because it is the role of the confessor not to judge, but to embody and dispense that loving mercy of God, nothing more and nothing less. If then we should ever experience something more judgmental or interrogative than merciful in the celebration of that sacrament, we should politely excuse ourselves and leave and seek another confessor who will embody for us that merciful love and forgiveness of God. Yet the other lesson to be learned from the gospel of the Samaritan woman is perhaps a bit more challenging. It concerns how we, as disciples of Jesus, are to embody the same loving kindness and mercy with others that Jesus is willing to show the Samaritan woman and us as we sin. When those we know and love do things that are unjust, unkind, immoral, destructive, or hurtful, our first impulse may not be to treat them with kindness, but rather, naturally, to react with anger. How commonplace, certainly amongst my ethnic group, is the freeze treatment, that of giving people the cold shoulder, shunning the offender, and that can sadly lead to cutting all ties with them. Where then is the opportunity for their repentance and conversion? What can make them take that needed look at what they've done? What can help them to realize the wrong of their actions and to regret the hurt they may have caused, and then begin to reconcile and make amends? Truly, only the loving kindness that Jesus himself has modeled for us when he came face to face with the Samaritan woman. Only the mercy that Jesus so generously extends. We are presented with this gospel during the season of Lent for a reason, and that is due to the potential it has to influence our own understanding of our need for repentance and conversion. So today we have to face the difficult questions. In the circles in which we live and move, those of family or friends, co-workers, neighbors, are there any whom we have cut off? Any whom we are refusing to communicate with or associate with because of something they have done or failed to do? As we hear today's gospel, and as shortly we will be praying the prayer that Jesus himself has taught us, let us contemplate what it really means to ask God to forgive us in the same measure and to the same degree that we are willing to forgive others. And as we do, let us, if necessary, begin to make a plan to tear down whatever walls have been built, perhaps of silence, which will then allow those we have cast to the margins to come back to the mainstream of our lives.